4 months ago, I met this woman. She is 29 years old, and I met her at my gym. We pretty much connected instantly. Over the course of 4 months, we became a couple, went on many dates, and had sex plenty of times. I was a virgin before I met her. I never had a girlfriend or sex, and I really felt like life finally kicked in for me and that things would get better. I am 24 years old, and before I met her, I always felt like a reject and a weirdo because of my lack of success in dating and relationships. The other day, by chance, I found out she has a husband, and I wanted to bury myself on the spot. I felt so bad I cannot put it into words. She wanted to have sex after we had a date, but I lied and told her that I could not do it that day because I had something planned. I came home, and I was ashamed of myself. I managed to find her husband on social media, and I have been going back and forth on whether and how to reveal everything. I saved all our chats, pictures, and I even have some receipts from our dinners. I talked to my mom about it, and she told me that since I managed to find him and since I have evidence, I should inform him. My mom told me that he deserves to know, and if it were up to her, she would have revealed everything, but she told me that is my decision to make. I feel like this woman played both me and her husband, and now I hate myself. Am I the asshole? There was no consensus in this spot, but the original poster was not the asshole. Let us get some relevant comments first, though. First up, a commenter says, "Get tested for sexually transmitted diseases. You have no idea how many partners she has had. If it were me, I would tell him." The original poster replies, "Thank you for the advice. I am going to do that." As for telling, I have already made the decision to inform her husband about her cheating. Hopefully, I will not be collateral damage in all of this. One other person chimes in, "I would message him with correspondence between you two, but nothing overly graphic. Make sure he knows you had no idea and block her everywhere." Another person asks, "I am curious. You said you accidentally found out, but how did you find out? You said that you found out by chance, and she wanted to have sex with you after the date. Did she just drop it on you on your date?" The original poster replies, "No, she got a call and it said, hubby with a heart emoji. The two of them were in the picture." The original poster had a response on who initiated the relationship, and if he knew she was married. "I did not initiate sex, she did, and she was going too fast for me. I have no relationship or sexual experience. She never said anything about being married or having a boyfriend or husband." A commenter adds, "You went from virgin to homewrecker in just 4 months. That is like breaking the sound barrier of bad decisions. But hey, you did not know." But seriously, finding out your girlfriend is married must have felt like winning the lottery, except instead of cash, you hit the jackpot of moral dilemmas. Not to mention, she just happened to be the one to take your virginity. Sounds like she definitely took advantage of you here. The original poster provides an update in his first post, titled, "Am I the asshole for wanting to reveal my affair partner's cheating to her husband?" Short and straight to the point, he says, "I used a fake and anonymous account to send him details and some pictures. I also told him that I have more evidence that I would like to share. He did not respond until yesterday, where he said that he wants to know more. Today, I sent him everything and explained everything in detail. Turns out, he already suspected her of cheating, he just did not have any proof. He was not angry or sad, he was just disappointed a lot. He also thought I would be older. He said that he does not blame me, it was not my fault. He told me that he owes me big time because he wanted to hire somebody to find out if she was actually cheating, so I actually saved him both time and money. After I explained everything, he was mostly relieved and thanked me for helping him, and asked if there was something he could do to repay me. I said that he should help somebody else, and that will make us even. He thanked me, told me that I am a good guy, and that was mostly it. He will file for divorce, in case anybody was wondering. I have not heard from my affair partner for a few days now, and I am pretty sure he did not tell her where he got all the proof from because she did not call and yell at me. I blocked her on everything anyway after my talk with her husband, and it is time to move forward. Crappy experience from a first relationship, but what can you do?" The commenters have a thought, "Bro, I am so proud of you. You did good, and I am glad he took it well. I could not be happier for this update." The original poster replies, "He was so kind and nice. I felt so bad. I kept apologizing, but he kept saying that he did not blame me and that it was not my fault." Another commenter adds, "Hey, saving the husband the hassle of hiring a private investigator, that is a solid deed, even if it did come with a side order of existential crisis. You did the right thing, original poster." The narrative voice adds, "The tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, or in your case, when we accidentally stumble into someone else's web of deceit. How did you find out that your partner was cheating? Let us know in the comments below." Next up, she is just a trad wife in a trad life. The original poster starts the second story. I do not even know where to begin with this. I am a 34-year-old male, and my wife, 33, and I have 2 kids together, an 11-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. My wife and I have been together for 12 years and married for 8. Around a year ago, I noticed my wife increasingly sending me these tradwife or traditional housewife TikTok videos. I have nothing against that type of relationship, but I do not think it makes sense for our current family situation. I do earn quite a bit more than my wife, enough to sustain our family on my own, but I do not see the need to do so. I work 80%, my wife 50%, and besides Wednesdays, where both of us are working, either one of us is always home for the kids. I could work 100% and let my wife be a stay-at-home mom, but again, both of my kids are attending school, and in my mind, there is no need for my wife to be at home 24/7. She got increasingly pushy about it over the past 2 months, and again, I just kept on telling her that there was not any need for that. If we did decide to go down that route, what would she do during the hours my kids attended school? I know damn well our house does not need to be cleaned for 6 hours a day. She would constantly try to butter me up with, "You would have dinner ready every day when you come home from work," and something about unlimited, or some bullshit like that. Again, in the nicest way possible, I would remind her that our kids were not toddlers, and our current work-life schedule allowed us to function perfectly fine. We got into a pretty heated argument 2 weeks ago about it, and my wife completely stopped having sex with me to show me what I would be missing out on. She has basically been treating me like a roommate since. I just thought she would get over it and that this was just a phase, but God, was I wrong. I came home from work yesterday and saw a bunch of presents on the dining table. At first I thought they were all for me since my birthday was in 1 week, but then I saw the labels on them addressed to my wife. I read one of the letters attached to the presents. The last sentence on it was literally, "It was such a pleasure working alongside you, and I wish you all the best moving forward." I thought this was some sick prank. A few minutes later, my wife just casually strolled into the living room, acting like nothing was wrong. I guess she saw my mad expression and had the audacity to tell me that I would get over it. I just lost it. I left without saying another word and went to my parents' house. I feel absolutely disrespected. Why the fuck would my wife think it was okay to just quit her job without telling me and just expect me to be fine with it? My wife has been bombarding me with texts and calls, demanding to know where I am and that the kids miss me. I just told her to go find a lawyer and that I was done with her, then proceeded to block her. My son just sent me a voicemail crying and asking why I was divorcing mom and if I was leaving the family. That kind of broke my heart. I have not responded and honestly do not know what to say to him. My mother-in-law has also been demanding that I return home and apologize to my wife. My parents also seem to be siding with the wife, since they are true traditional Muslims. My mom also used to be a stay-at-home mom. I feel like I am wrong for immediately jumping to divorce without hearing her out, and besides this whole job drama, I love my wife too much for this to be the end of our otherwise perfect marriage. But on the other hand, I feel like I have lost complete trust in her. Should I just swallow my pride and let my wife stay at home from now on, or should I follow through on divorcing her? How should I navigate the situation? Am I the asshole here? The narrator says, "Ask for an opinion, and you are going to get it." First, some relevant comments about the religion. The original poster replies, "Thank you, but we are not strict Muslims. Yes, we pray, etc., but we do not follow any of the traditional gender role ideologies. My wife tends to be a bit more on the conservative and traditional side, whereas I am a bit more liberal. And I mean, does not the same apply to Christianity?" He adds, "Go back home? I have told my son I will be home by tomorrow. I will just be gone for 2 days. There had to have been red flags earlier than this. I mean, before this, the only red flag I saw was her constantly just ignoring me if we had a disagreement, but usually that was for maybe a maximum of 2 days. This was the first time she did that for a longer period of time. The crux of the issue, the original poster explains, the fact that she would come home relaxing is not the issue. It is the fact that we now have to significantly cut down on our current expenses, and I am not even sure if my company is willing to let me work 100%. A commenter says, "This tradwife crap is cult level, bat crap crazy." The women who are indebted to tradwife culture out of some desire to be more valued and have fewer outside of the home responsibilities, and the men who encourage women to be or become tradwives out of some weird chauvinist nostalgia for the family dynamic of the 40s and 60s, and an insecure need to fully control their wife and household, are codependent wrecks and borderline sociopaths, respectively. I feel so bad that you have been hit so hard by this. I imagine it would be like figuring out one of your parents went down the QAnon rabbit hole or worse. You should split with her. Absolutely. Beyond a certain point, there is no reasoning with these people. The original poster replies, "Thank you, but I do not think that this post should spread hate to those who currently are or were tradwives. It is a completely acceptable type of relationship if both parties agree to it, and that is my primary issue with all of this. There is no consensus in this spot on am I the asshole, but the majority of the responses were not the asshole." The narrator continues, the joys of marital bliss, where every day brings a new surprise, like finding out your wife has quit her job and taken up a career and surprising the hell out of you. And then there is the classic move of withholding adult fun time to prove a point. The oldest trick in the book: if you do not play by my rules, you do not get to play at all. Talk about a bedroom Cold War. You are not the asshole here, original poster. But amidst all the upheaval, it is your son's tearful voicemail that cuts the deepest, is not it. I mean, none of this is fair to your child. Amidst the chaos and hurt, there is an opportunity for clarity. It is a chance to remember that above all else, you are a father, a guiding light in your son's world of confusion. So, as you navigate the stormy seas of marital discord, remember to anchor yourself in love and compassion for the sake of the little ones who depend on you. After all, in the tumult of adult relationships, it is often the smallest voices that speak the loudest truths. Update post, 5 days later. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for the overwhelming support I have received. I have received a ton of messages, but please be patient with me. This week has definitely been tough for me. This whole family drama has definitely taken a toll on me physically and mentally. I just want to add a few crucial details that I missed mentioning in my original post. I suffer from a genetic heart condition that puts me at risk of stress-induced cardiac arrest. I used to work full-time, but was forced to cut down on my work after suffering a silent heart attack. This was nearly 1 decade ago, but since then, I have worked on my own physical and mental well-being. Some people did not understand me constantly mentioning why it was such an issue working the extra 20%. I honestly do not know how much time I have left, and my kids are the most important things in my life. For my own mental health, it is essential that I get to spend time with the kids throughout the week. Besides my wife and kids, I have nothing. I hate my fucking job and purely continue for the sake of my kids and wife. Well, after spending 1 day at my parents' house, eventually I felt enough time had passed for me to gather my thoughts on everything. What she did seemed like the ultimate slap in the face, but I went back with the intention to resolve this and did not want to escalate this fucking nightmare. My wife seemed happy I returned and was not apologetic at all. The kids, especially my son, were ecstatic. That sort of made me ignore the lack of remorse for the time being. That same night, after putting my kids to bed, I told her we needed to have a serious discussion. I told her how I felt about everything she did, the fact that she knows about my health condition and still went through with it, the fact that I set clear boundaries and she still chose to quit her job without my consent, how the fact that she told my son that I was going to abandon the family really felt like a stab in the back, how throughout all of this she did not even seem remorseful once, the fact that she chose her own happiness to the detriment of mine, the fact that I sacrificed so much for the family and got repaid like this, the fact that we now as a family have to make major lifestyle changes, since 1/3 of our family income vanished. For a split second, I saw an ounce of sadness in her eyes before she went right back to being annoyed with me. I then simply told her to lay out her half of the story. Here is a summary of what she said. She felt ignored by me constantly rejecting her proposal. She had worked long enough, and this was finally the time for her to enjoy her life as a true wife. She also said that I was being a baby about the whole spending extra time with the kids thing that really pissed me off, and we ended up getting into a heated argument. I could not bear any of it anymore, and just ended up sleeping in the guest room. Until yesterday, nothing changed. She constantly tried to play everything off and wanted to embrace her new role by constantly trying to have sex with me and by making me my favorite dishes. It just felt like she was just trying to manipulate me again. I was not happy with any of it. I just kept on sleeping in the guest room. Well, my birthday was yesterday, and after work, my wife and kids picked me up, and we ate dinner together. This was probably the first time I genuinely had a smile on my face in 1 week. Well, that smile vanished because she tried to seduce me again later that night. I rejected her, and to my surprise, she had a full-on mental breakdown. I just held her as she started apologizing for what she did. She claimed she did not understand how much she hurt me. She was sorry for making me feel like an afterthought, etc. We ended up sleeping in the same bed yesterday. I felt like things were finally moving in the right direction, and I again asked her about searching for a new job today. Instead of getting mad, she just replied with, "I need to think about it." Yeah, that is where things are as of today. It feels like progress is being made, but I do not know. This just might be another manipulation tactic of hers. I will probably make a final update in 1 month or so. Reddit is not doing my mental health any favors. How would you guys move forward in this situation? Could I have done something better? Is she being genuine? And to those incels who constantly bring up Islam as a way to justify her behavior, please shut the fuck up. Now, let us get some relevant comments from the community. The first commenter says, if you are still questioning things at this point, respectfully take your fucking head out of your butt. The original poster replies, I guess you are hinting at divorce. Let me make it more clear for you. In our culture, divorce is the last resort and extremely frowned upon, especially if there are kids involved. I want to fix this. If she shows no improvement after I have tried everything, yes, then I will go for divorce. Someone else chimes in with, she is not even being a good trad wife, since they are supposedly meant to put their husband's needs ahead of their own. But she is definitely putting her wants ahead of your needs. It sounds like you really need couples counseling. The original poster replies, she believes my needs solely revolve around sex. That is the problem. The original poster, in a different comment, says, she has always been like this. She fucks up or wants something from me, like trying to fuck me 24/7. Another person from the community says, when she came to you with her issue, what did you do to help find a solution? The original poster replied, I constantly told her she can reduce her hours if she wants. That is fine with me. Being at home 24/7 without my consent is where I draw the line. Someone else asks, do you have life insurance? The original poster says, yeah, I have insurance. On the subject of couples counseling, the original poster replies, thank you, couples therapy can definitely help. But let us talk about your wife's sudden epiphany, shall we? Quitting her job without consulting you, then trying to play the role of the beautiful wife while simultaneously reducing you like it is her part-time job. Not sure that is how that works. And now she is having a full-on breakdown, apologizing for her shenanigans like she is auditioning for an Oscar. Is she genuine, or is this just another act? Well, I think you already know that answer, original poster. The narrator continues, it sounds like it could all be an elaborate ruse, a masterful manipulation designed to pull you back into her web of deceit. It seems like she just thinks she can do whatever she wants while you work your butt off to provide for the family. I mean, all of this definitely is not something you want to be dealing with when you have a heart condition. And let us think about it this way. If you wanted to quit your job, she would have the same reaction that you would be having right now. What gives her the right to stay at home and not work when you are the one with a heart condition? The next post is titled Alcoholism, dated April 19, 2024. It notes, editor's note, I did not originally include this post for my first brew because I was not sure if the sub was allowed to cross-post. Several people linked it in the comments of that brew, so after reviewing the rules several times, I have included it on this post. I will take it down if that is against the rules anywhere. The original poster writes, I am going through some family issues, and I have noticed myself reaching for the bottle far too often. Life has been terrible this past week, a lot of family drama, and work has been more stressful than ever. I just noticed myself reaching for whiskey more often than I usually do. I guess I am just trying to drown out the misery for the time being. I am scared I might turn to alcohol more often in the future. As of right now, I am drinking about 2 glasses of whiskey a day when I get back from work. It used to be 1 glass a week. My gut is telling me to stop, but I feel like a zombie just going through life. I do not have any energy or self-control left. I also have 2 young kids, and definitely do not want to set a bad example for them. Is this normal? Should I remove all alcohol from the house immediately, or am I overreacting? What would you guys' first steps be? The community has some thoughts. One person says, hi mate, it is hard for me to say if you have a drinking problem or not. I think deep down, only you can know if something feels wrong or unhealthy about what you are doing. What I will say is that in my experience, alcohol is a really addictive and sinister substance that can easily take hold of your life. If you ever feel it is getting out of control, and/or that you want to quit drinking, then remember that there are a lot of people out there for you, primarily from your doctor, and also from support groups such as Alcoholics Anonymous. Wishing you all the best, mate. Feel free to message me for a chat if you like. The original poster replies, thank you so much, George. I think I will start to cut down over the coming days. I do not want to take that risk of falling into complete addiction. Wishing you all the best as well, and hey, likewise, if you want to talk, I am a few clicks away. New update, 10 days later, April 16th, from the original poster. Again, I am beyond grateful for all the love and support you guys have shown me. If I am being honest with everyone, I have been drinking a lot to get through this mess. I felt like a zombie just wandering around with no purpose. My wife's actions completely broke me. Thankfully, I have managed to cut most of it out over the past week, and that is mostly thanks to Reddit. You guys seriously helped me keep my mind busy with something else besides alcohol. Being reminded that I have two smaller versions of myself looking up to me and learning from the things I do really helped me snap out of it. I have been at my lowest since making my first post, and I think I have just hit a new low. Until last week, nothing changed since my last post. My wife still pranced around enjoying her new lifestyle while I suffered in silence. After posting my update, I did realize that my wife 100% was trying to manipulate me into submitting to her demands. I asked her if she actually started looking for a job, and she hesitated and told me no, and she needs more time. If I am being honest, that is all I needed to know from her. I tried making this work, but honest to God, I could not keep living like that. Every day that passed felt like a part of my soul vanished. My wife kept on trying to please me, but it did not seem genuine at all. I have also started noticing her getting lazy and starting to neglect my kids. My wife stopped cooking, and after working 9 hours of hell, I was now the one to help my son with his homework and the one to play Barbie with my daughter. I am not complaining about spending time with my kids, but I could seriously see this becoming worse as time goes on. I do not know where the woman I once fell in love with went, but that thing that lives with me was not her. I know a lot of you are going to smile hearing this, but I did tell my wife that I want a divorce last week. I came home from work and saw my wife sitting on the couch watching TV while my daughter was crying in her room. I just snapped at that moment. I told her we needed to have a serious discussion after the kids went to sleep. After I put my kids to sleep, I sat down with her and told her our marriage was over and that I would be contacting my lawyer tomorrow. Divorce was never something I ever planned on doing in my life, but I just felt like something needed to change, or my kids would be visiting my graveside in a few years. Our culture frowns upon it, and I knew I was about to get serious backlash for it. But at this point, I could not care less. I do not know why, but she thought I was joking and started laughing. I told her I was being serious this time, and her manipulation methods were not going to work on me anymore, and her face just went pale. She then went from screaming at me to crying, to then blaming me for every issue in the family, and then to begging me for another chance. She literally went to get her laptop and tried to apply for jobs on Indeed while begging. I just told her to cut the bullshit and told her I tried my best, but she just kept giving me empty promises. I told her the following. I know her trying to fuck me was just a manipulation tactic and not to show her devotion to me, as she puts it. If she was truly sorry, why did not she start applying for jobs immediately instead of waiting until I confronted her? Her completely disregarding any of my feelings and needs while purely pursuing her own shows me how selfish she actually is. She knows about my health and still chose to completely fuck me over. And now, this part pissed me off a lot. Her poisoning my son against me when this all started was beyond fucked up, and looking back, was enough of a reason to divorce her. We ended up fighting for another 1 hour or so, and her constant screaming ended up waking up our daughter. That is when I told my wife to shut the fuck up and go to bed. The following day, my mom called me during work and asked if I lost my mind or something. My wife told my mom that I was going to divorce her. She claimed that I was bringing serious shame onto the family and that she did not raise me to abandon my kids. Yep, my wife told my mom that I was planning on abandoning my kids and has been feeding my kids the same bullshit. I explained to my mom the reasons why I want a divorce, but she will not budge. If I divorce my wife, I am a disgrace of a man, and my mom wants nothing to do with me. I know my mom well enough to tell that her words are just empty threats, but what hurts me most are the reactions of my kids. My son will not look me in the eyes and will not even let me anywhere near his room. My daughter just tries to hit me whenever I try to talk to her. I have tried explaining to them that I am in fact not going to give up on them, and that me and their mom are just going to separate, but they just seem to believe whatever bullshit my wife tells them. Friends and in-laws also claim that I am a monster for making my wife go through this. My wife was served with the divorce papers 2 days ago and has been crying non-stop since. Oh, I have told my kids about the divorce papers and they both claim that they will never talk to me again, and in my son's words, I am a bad husband and father. I cried myself to sleep that night. I thought divorce would bring me peace, but it has only brought me one step closer to taking my life. As I stated in my previous post, I have nothing and I am nothing without my kids. Growing up dead poor as a refugee in Germany, I promised myself that I would give my kids a life that I myself could have only dreamed of, but I feel like I failed. I'm sorry for making this post longer than it has to be. Again, I just want to thank everyone for the love and support, but this will probably be my last post. Wishing you all a lovely week. Let us see what the community does to help this person out. The first person says, I would be showing anyone and everyone your posts, and also look into the custody laws for wherever you live. Also, you have to keep trying to get through to your kids and convince them you are not going anywhere. You are 100% not the asshole in this situation. The original poster replies, "Thank you for the advice, but I feel like that is going to do more harm than good. I feel like they are just going to be mad that I am sharing my private life with strangers on the internet. On top of that, their English is not good enough to understand my story anyway. And yes, I have been looking into the ins and outs of custody laws here." Someone else chimes in. "The best way to get your kids to understand that you are not abandoning them is to go for full custody. You can tell the judge that your wife has no income and no desire to work, and as such, she cannot afford to give your children any kind of stability or decent life. When the children see you are fighting for them, they will realize that you are not abandoning them, only their mother, who wants to coast through life on your dime." The original poster replies, "Thank you, but I seriously fear that I will not get any custody due to me working near full-time." Another commenter replies, "You are an idiot. Take your kids and get out. Stop leaving them with her." The original poster replies, "Do you want me to take them with me to the office? They currently do not want anything to do with me. I took 1 week off work to maybe go on a trip with my kids to help them relax during this mess, but they just refuse to leave my wife's side and claim I am a monster." Another community member says, "You working full-time is what will get you custody. You can afford to house, feed, and clothe your kids. Start the paper trail. Communicate with your soon-to-be ex-wife only by text. Use Reddit, search for FU binder. Make one religiously and back it up. Have a plan for after-school care for the kids. That is the last part that will show you are 100% ready for full custody. Do not give up. Your kids need you. You need you alive. Big hugs, and keep updating us, please." The original poster replies, "Depends. The government could argue that me just paying my wife alimony and child support, and me maybe getting week visitation, would be a better option. Nothing is definitive. I am still researching what the most likely outcome would be and preparing my finances accordingly." In response to several longer encouraging comments telling the original poster to seek help and that they are worried about him, the original poster replies, "Thank you. It is hard battling these thoughts, but I know that I am only going to hurt my family doing it." The original poster also clarifies one point. "I know a lot of people assume this, but we used to split chores. If I was home, I did most of the cooking, cleaning, etc., and on weekends my wife cooked and I did the chores." On the note of parental alienation, thank you for bringing that up to my attention. I will have to look into that where I live. As far as I am concerned, it does not exist here, but I will be researching it regardless. The idea of a postnuptial agreement, so you can keep your money, is brought up. Thank you for the advice, but I'm not worried about giving her half of my assets. When we both got together, we were both flat broke. She helped me achieve the things I have achieved so far in my career. That is why I married her in the first place, because I thought she would be with me through thick and thin. But yeah, people change. As far as alimony is concerned, I am not sure. It might be around $2,000 to $3,000 a month for both kids if she gets primary custody of them. The original poster does clarify alimony versus child support. I am sorry, English is not my first language. Yeah, I meant to say child support. As far as alimony is concerned, I do not really care. I just want this nightmare to end. Do you live in Germany? No, I live in Switzerland. Yeah, but courts here still rule in favor of the woman. Looks like you have been through the ringer lately, huh? First off, let me just say, I hear you. Dealing with family drama and work stress can feel like being trapped in a never-ending nightmare, and turning to whiskey for solace. Well, let us just say I have heard that tune before. But here is the thing, buddy. You are not alone in this. We have all had these moments where we feel like life is a punching bag, taking hit after hit until we are down for the count. But you have got something a lot of folks do not, resilience. You took a hard look at your situation and made some tough calls. Divorce, yeah, that is no picnic, but sometimes it is the only way to reclaim your sanity. And hey, kudos for standing your ground, even when the whole world seems to be against you. And as for your kids, I cannot even begin to imagine how tough it must be feeling right now, especially with them pulling away. It is like getting sucker punched in the gut after already being down for the count. Your kids are hurting, confused, and probably feeling like they have been tossed into the middle of a hurricane. It is not about you being a bad father. It is about them trying to make sense of a world turned upside down. Right now, what they need most is consistency and reassurance. Keep showing up for them, even when they push you away. Be patient, be present, and let them know you are not going anywhere, no matter what. It might not happen overnight, but with time and love, those walls they have built around themselves will start to crumble. Keep communicating, keep listening, and above all, keep being the dad they need, even if they do not realize it yet. What do you think? What would you do in this situation? What would you have done differently? Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on our next video. See you soon.